collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. You stressing, always think about as to why, where, what, when, who. Because you could be feeling damaged. Both of you could be feeling damaged. Your divine feminine, masculine, take it all as it resonates. They've got confusion. They're missing you. They're now learning. Because they've been ignoring. They could be all ignoring this Queen of Swords. You could be this Queen of Swords who just speaks the truth. And you've got that clarity. You're honest, fiery. There's no ramping, cutthroat. No messing about. You just say it, speak it, how it is. Because I am in charge of my own life. So you know you was in charge of your own life. You got balance, you got clarity. You're unable to be able to gain introspection because you're wise. You've got that magical wise seer. I'm not getting that one much dropped on the floor. You've got that vision. You're unable to be able to say you're staying focused. You're steadfast, organized. They could say, I see the person in the mirror and I love them for who they are. So they're learning. They may not be loving themselves because it was in reverse. They don't know who they are. And when they're looking at themselves now, they're identifying. It's like something else. It may not be them. You could be that reverse, the mirror reflection. You could be the shadow aspect of them. You're loving who you are because you're standing in your divine truth, your divine power, because you've got that cosmic energy and you have got the power to be able to change your thoughts. So you've got that power to change your thoughts, your divine masculine, feminine, maybe standing in that lack mindset and in looking at that low aspect to their self in that carnal mind. Try to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. So you're always trying to be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud because you're enabling, supporting, assisting. You're this Queen of Swords. You're encompassing. You're cutthroat. You go with love. And it's cut harsh love. So you just say it how it is. Speak facts. Give them that clarity. Give that balance. And make sure you're clear about these things that are in the unknown. Because be the change you want to see in the world. So you try to be people, let people speak that truth. So they can make those positive changes. So they're able to be able to adapt to circumstances, situations and things. And sometimes, yeah, you might find yourself in that fucked up situation because it gives you that lack and you don't have inner peace and you lack inner strength and you don't got emotionally connected because you know there's low dense energies. So you need to fix up. You need to look sharp when you're thinking that you're being playful and you're stuck in a childlike spirit and you don't want to grow up and show up as that true, divine, authentic being that you are, that you feel within inside of you, connecting to those emotions, listening to your intuitions, having compassion, caring, understanding, to be able to overstand, even having empathy for yourself, just because you're in that low dense energy and nothing's not perfect. Yeah, you got a shadow aspect to yourself, but that's why you got that black and the white, because the dark side of you is enabled to enlighten that light side of you, to give you that aspect to connect to your heart, to those emotions, to make you fart and realize and analyze that you have got that power to change your thoughts because you are those thoughts and that thoughts dwells inside of you, nobody else. And it's about the actions that you take in, and are you having clarity when you're taking those actions? Are you moving with that balance? Is it harmony? Or are you putting yourself in a situation around people that's not going to cause you that correct help and support? They're just going to give you these pricks and then you're going to move like a prick. And anyone who comes near you, you're pricking them up like one prick. And you know that hedgehog, you touch an hedgehog, it pricks the fuck you up. Because they haven't got that inner peace and they're all like stressed within their mind. So they could be stressing now in their mind because the male's communicating with certain family members and they could be stressed with a karmic energy, that karmic feminine. Take it all as it resonates. I cultivate inner peace, allowing it to be able to flow through the aspects of my life. So you enabled yourself to connect just to your sacral chakra. You wasn't able to, sorry, your solar plexus, your solar plexus. So you wasn't able to connect to your solar plexus. They was in that chakra, running in low dense energies through that fight and flight mode. So you're not able to be able to go up because you haven't got confidence. So these people lack confidence, lack self-esteem. Take this all as it resonates. Now they're learning. They lack that confidence and self-esteem, which enabled them to act and react in certain ways. And they was being a rainbow in somebody else's cloud and may not have been the rainbow in your cloud, and you had to be that enlightenment to somebody else to give them that understanding about the actions you're taking and when you're moving, how you're moving, the things that's in the unknown, how when you're taking, have you got grounding, are you balanced? Because there could be blocked. Oh my days. You're not going to take them all. This could be a twin flame. They wanted forgiveness. They're feeling that intensity. They could be wanting to change now because they want to be able to be that change. I might just put it, because that's that mirror reflection. That's that black to that white, that grey area of oneself. And they're now looking, you could have been a mirror reflection of those divine feminines, masculines. Now they have that power of their thoughts to be able to change their thoughts because they wanted that forgiveness. And that's when you ask, call on the Most High God within inside of yourself. Like, why? What was I doing? why did I wasn't not thinking when I was taking that action, and I knew I should have been moving with the love, but I was fast and I went into the unknown. And now, all because I didn't have balance, and now I'm gaining clarity about these people and places that could have led me astray. Take it all as it resonates. They're having that hope now, and to be able to forgive them. They may be praying, this divine masculine, the masculine energy could be very nice for you to forgive them. It's feeling intense. They could be looking at about 8. It's on 8 there, was in that karmic energy, you know, in the low karmic minds, and you need to be able to transform because of sexual energies that they was having. They may need to be able to go to court. Take it all as it resonates. Then you start having that spiritual awakening, the time starts ticking, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's nearly at that 12, so that's that change. So they're in their mind thinking about the actions that they took when they was around certain family members and friends, and it could have been about money or stopping, and they could have had children, and they might have to go to court in regards to this for the child. So they're gaining that balance now because it's that introspection. Could have took intervals. 9, they got to go court because it's cross-cultural. They're looking now because this is community. They could be gaining clarity. 12, about the karmic cycles that they was embarking on, or because of their attitude, and then they was having these family members and sharing and caring. Now that's all because they think they was taking that great leap of faith because they was in that ego. And you know, when you're thinking that you're doing things for right, like you're innocent, they may be wanting to be able to come like in their innocence towards you now. Take it all as it resonates, because their feelings for you are overwhelming them, and sometimes they're pleased, it's reassuring me, and it's taking these things slowly, patiently. So they're trying to be, they could have been being somebody rainbow in somebody else's cloud. Now they're thinking about it. They don't think, maybe thinking about you being in somebody else's cloud. So they wanted forgiveness. They're changing, because to be that change you want to see in the world. So now they want to change because they're working hard to be able to change their ways now. And they're exhausted. They could be feeling tired. They need grounding because of all that action they had. They're like your third chakra, so solar plexus, confidence, self-esteem, understanding, mental clarity. They're having stress. They're having stress within their mind, all because of those groups where they're socialising with, and that's the way how they speak now. They're just thinking, how am I going to be able to speak? Because when you learn in and you start looking back at different aspects, perspectives, to make that change, so they could be learning to make a change. Na 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 na. Because when you have to look at that man in the mirror, oh wow, it makes you have to change certain ways. Why? Because it gets you afraid, and then maybe we're getting that surprise about love, because when you connect to your heart, and then it's real love, now they need healing, because now they're wanting you, all because of their actions. That's what happens when you have to learn. And now that's opening up, so they're opening up for that inner peace, because that's that mindset and the thoughts, because that time apart from you could have caused them that stress, and that time apart from you, they was around certain people. They could have met their own match now. It was a mirror reflection as to who they were. Wasn't true. Wasn't real. It's caused them damage. Because now they're seeing those signs as to who you are. They was moving low. Twin flames. They may see you as inseparable. That feeling. Because then you've got that twin flame feeling, and it doesn't matter if you're around somebody, if you're not, that's when you get that connection. It's even like sometimes you connect to certain people, you're like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you. And it makes you, it affects you. You know, when you hear certain things and it touches your heart, because it gives you that clarity. It makes you feel emotional because you gain introspection. And you know, when you're feeling it, it's inside, like it's inseparable, inside of you. And it's there's inner thoughts and there's inner feelings. And you gain that introspection of that totally opposite side. And the way I was low, and that must have been the positive aspect towards you. Because that's looking at that soul tie. And you got that power to change, because they could see about these soul ties. I always feel that connection and connected towards you because you're inseparable. That's because it was a divine connection. It was ordained. That could have been a part of that spiritual path. You had to endure that path, because sometimes in life you have to encompass these journeys and go through those emotions and look, because it's about stability and your harmony. And when you're thinking that you're unstable and you're moving out of that aggressive action, you got to go back and you got to look at yourself, because who was you being creative with? And it gives you that clarity of mind about those family members and the friends and the people that you put yourself around. And when you took yourself on that city, was that placid free, or did you sink in that sinking sand? And how are you going to be able to get to that road, because it's a high road and it causes you that confusion, and that's where the intensity comes. So you have stress and you're in your mind and you're unsure of that ways, because that's that change. And then it's how you're going to make that change, because then you've got to call onto the Most High, and it's unsatisfying. And they wasn't happy the way things were going. So they weren't happy the way things were going. So you had to make that change. Now they're making a change because they're not happy the way how things are going. Because when you start gaining introspection, it's emotional. They didn't have that stability. They wasn't grounded. They didn't have that uncertainty. You know, when you lack control. And now they maybe want to open up towards you about this chemistry. Take it all as it resonates. Sorry, this commitment. So now they're open up. I want to be able to be a part of your future. So now they want to be able to come and commit towards you. So they're opening up those emotions. They're gaining that balance. They maybe want to be able to come and propose towards you, have a marriage, and have that unity. Because now they're looking at the values. And we have too many differences. So their values, because now they're looking at that shadow side. You was that one who had that spiritual and physical. They was in the physical, you was in the spiritual. You looked at your mental clarity, your mind. They went to that. Because you've seen the soul contracts. Now they're feeling damaged. And that's the lessons I've learned. And that was from us and will never be forgotten. And now they're seeing they was a runner. They was being dishonest towards you. Take this all as it resonates, guys. Because when you start looking and you was ignoring now, those trigger moments, you start looking back. And you're having to start ride the waves. It makes you feel like you're tired. Because then you gain introspection about the black to the white, that duality. And you was avoiding those messages. So they could be avoiding certain people that they're around now. Take this all as it resonates. This is inseparable. Ooh. Hustling. They was too busy hustling. So they was like hustling and making it rain. Too busy like not looking at those signs. And gaining introspection. This could have been this divine masculine. They thought they was cool, but they was all played out. And they had those, now they're looking about the, when they was out and they was socializing with other people. They could have been buying somebody else flowers. I've only just seen that woman there in the background. I didn't even never noticed her there before. So now they could be feeling like they want to be able to hustle. They maybe even want to hustle and be able to come and bring you some flowers. They can see that you're balanced, you move with love. You've got that introspection. You come with that clarity. You've got that vision to be able to see. Those masculines, when they was taking that action, they didn't have that introspection. They weren't grounded. Now they've been coming to make an offer with you because they was confused of when they was making those offers, and they was confused when they was out socializing with other people. And certain people was unsatisfied because now they got no facts, and they could have been offering other people these things and they weren't happy. They must have thought you wasn't happy when you made those changes, but you had to make those possible changes to enable yourself to have that balance and that ground. And that was you going in the potter's house at times and gaining introspection about certain people who was had these low vibes and trying to speak on you, or may have made you feel confused and not knowing what to be able to do or which direction you was wanting to go to cause damage and conflict. You start seeing, you just ignore them. Take this all as it resonates. Sometimes you feel like you're talking crap. But now they're wanting that power because they see that power. Certain people thought they had power. They may have said that you lacked that power and they didn't have no facts. And they was having these offers and they didn't realise the offers that they was having. Now they want to come with a genuine intention, a door open, ready to be able to receive. Take it all as it resonates now because they're looking, they may want to write a love letter towards you because they're drinking and thinking. They could be looking back at past memories. They could be like trapped in an old dead room. You know, when you're not even comfortable and you're thinking you're sad. Because this thief, certain people, this commitment, this thief, they could have committed themselves to somebody. They could have got robbed. They could have been set up by that fake karmic who had no facts. So they may want to tell you about that certain people was hustling them, who was around them and making them buying things and treating other people, played out old karmic cycles. Now they want to be able to come back towards you because they're connected and listening to their heart now and seeing these soul ties. They was confused. Now they want to be able to come in towards you with an offer because they was unsatisfied with certain people who was around them. And they was like talking and speaking and receipts and talking nonsense. They could have been messy storyteller about you, saying that you was unsatisfied and you didn't want to make a change and you was not good and you was a thief. Now they're looking at you and seeing that commitment because they feel like they've lost their self. They robbed their self from you and you was a good part of their commitment. Now they're opening up and having that inner peace. Take it all as it resonates. Now they're crying over you. And that's the scarcity tactics now. Certain people could be playing scarcity tactics, threatening. They're GUM play out here. Certain people could have been at gun playing. This third triangle, this This karmic energy could have been playing a lot of GUM play. They could have been around family members and friends, committing to other people, working alongside other people in a commitment, and like cause them confusion. Take it all as it resonates. They just damaged themselves when they was hustling. Now they're feeling guilty. They don't let that guilt in the way of their happiness. So now they could be looking back and gaining that introspection now. That's that full clarity, because they was all played out from those illusions, and when people's causing confusions, because when you're lying and you're doing things and you're partying and socializing with other people, and then you may be picking up for people, taking and showing off other people, but you gain that clarity of the mindset, of the way how you acted, but all because of that ego and your pride, and when you're looking for assets, and you know, when you're trying to be like big and you want people to see you like your top show star. Take this all as it resonates, because that was that momentum. If they thought they was getting that momentum, and now they're gaining that momentum to be able to come and give you an offer, because they was in their mind, they was blocked in their mind when they was stuck, and they weren't thinking about, they had that earthly power and they was wanting for control, and or because when they was moving with people and living these karmic soul ties, they didn't realize about the proper true divine feminine masculine energy to obtain that structure, that standards. That's when you go into your picket fence and you just communicating, working with other people. They was too busy in that confusion because of that mindset, because of their values towards money. And now they're gaining that great admiration of you because they was unsatisfied with these no facts when people were speaking bad about you. And now it's time to think, appreciate your partner. So now they're looking back. They could have been lying, chatting shit with no facts, because they was unsatisfied because you was being that change. They didn't want to be able to change, and now they're opening up about this thief who could have robbed them when they was having this commitment. They had stress, they didn't have no inner peace all hours a day, and now they're looking and wanting this connection with you. They're crying over you. They're seeing that damage about that connection because they see the all cosmic energy. You could have been just that truth speaker. You could have told him, well, I seen, I had this clarity, I had this understanding. Now they're feeling guilty. Because that's that death, the transforming, the changing. Change clothes. They was holding on to restrictions. That divine feminine. They could have been blocking them and speaking bad about you, taking actions. And they was working alongside other people, giving you that heartache, one sword. They could have gave you that sword and made you feel stressed, and now they're having that sword piercing through them. Now they're feeling guilty, they're feeling sad because that Five of Swords, because of those illusions, they weren't having growing. You could have seen how people brought these illusions and this being aggressive. This could have been certain close friends towards you that was bullying you and causing stress, conflict, bringing those illusions while you was out partying because you had these karmic soul ties. Lying about you, saying that you was that true divine feminine, like you didn't have that spiritual wisdom. Now when you have to go into hermit and you have to see, look back and gain introspection about who, why, where, what, when, and you're gaining clarity about the actions that they took. They're gaining clarity about actions other people took, who had this great power and was putting willpower and strength. That was all about your dignity, your pride and your self-esteem and your ego, and like you're not nothing. All because like when you're moving and you're growing towards your abundance, people are stopping you from growing towards that abundance. That would have been your 9. Now they see that you was that like whole 9 of cups. And now they're feeling guilty. All because they was lying down and swearing down with some feminine energy, and that feminine energy was communicating, chatting shit about you. That was your family member or a friend, like close people talking to you. Or because they had a social awareness of you, like you could talk like me on social media, say they got social platforms and speaking bad about the attitude and like your physical body, even the way how you look and your appearance, like you don't look like you should gain this knowledge, and you've got that balance and you're gaining that introspection and you've got that divine gift from the Most High and you've been able to speak these words. So they was around people that was fake, and now they have to identify that's that transformation. You transformed, you changed, you had that wisdom about these illusions. You had to identify because you had to be brave and protect yourself. So don't worry, you was divinely guided. And now this King of Cups is gaining that momentum because they can see they want to come towards you with an offer. They can see you as emotionally connected. You're wise and devoted, balanced between the head and the heart. Now they're getting wise. They're devoting their self to balance their self between their head and their heart now. They're looking at all those elements. You know, you was confused and you get conflicted. Then you have to find ways because they're admiring you. Because they can see you're like a queen of bronze. You're passionate, you're determined, you're adventurous, confident, you're self-assured, you're charismatic, you're able to be able to keep on moving forward, standing in your power, gaining that strength, and you're needing that strength to speak that truth of knowledge. You've got that purity, you're steadfast. This Page of Swords is opening up, but remember they're a page. So they maybe want to be able to come now with curiosity, with chatting, come gossip. They was curiosity chatting to people who was robbing them for your commitment and lacking, so you didn't have no inner peace about your Four of Wands, about this home and this harmony. Now they're gaining stress now, because then you start looking back to the connection. They see you're part of that stability. That's when you look at your heart. And now they're preserving that ego. Or when you're chatting shit and you're thinking you're not listening, you're not even getting spiritually connected and emotionally connected. So you're gaining clarity. They could be gaining clarity now, because that's that death. You have to release, you have to let go, you have to transform. Oh, look, you see, you have to let go, you have to release, you have to transform. Now they're letting go because they're feeling guilty of those hustling ways. Awesome days are gone, because I've been right so long. There is some jar here. Because these Five of Wands, Five of Swords, these people is guilty because these Five of Swords. Yeah, because they didn't have that balance. You know, the spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically balanced. They was causing these illusions to the yin, to the yang. Like, say you wasn't that true divine feminine, to the masculine. You seeing the illusions, to the confusions. I am and I feel. They didn't make you feel. They thought that it was going to knock you off your balance. Like, knocking the boots. They thought that was knocking you off your boots, mate. Now they want to come and knock you off the boots, because they're seeing that attraction, blood clot, this King of Cups. I told you, now they want to come and knock you off the boots, because they're seeing the signs and wonders, and they're seeing that moment, because they're getting open now, because they got that power of love. My life, everything I own is right in front of you. Got that power of love, because all of a sudden, every step I take and every move they make, every single day, every night, they are manifesting you to come back. Now they're seeing their signs. Let's see what their confessions are. Oh, blood fire. They are learning, guys. I pressed pause by, dropped it and stopped it. So, and they are learning, they're gaining that divine guidance, because they're opening up. They're still missing you, and they was insecure. And now, because all of a sudden, they was all right when they was on that dance floor, and they lied on the bed getting it on raw. They wasn't thinking about it then. They wasn't insecure then, because that was the only way that they moved through those low dense energies. That's why they had confusion, and that's why they was unsatisfied when they was having these commitments, and now they're feeling guilty, or because they was moving through these illusions. And then when you have to have that great admirations about these people that was blocking you and stopping you and fighting you, why? Or because it was in that childlike spirit and gambling, all for these extra energies, and it was all for properties and finances, all because of their mindsets, all because it was institutionalized with your mind. You know, when you're not spiritually grown in, you don't look at those habits and connect to yourself and unlock those keys within the mind, because you have to let go of the burden. And you just had to let go of the burden. You let go. You seen that signs. They was unbalanced. You had to have that attraction to yourself. And you seen those signs within. You listen to the spiritual guides. You gain momentum, and you know. And now they're all of a sudden, they're looking back towards you. Because now they're letting go. Because that path of the miracles, and it was that magical encounters, spiritual journey, inner awakening. Now they see that they let go of that magical path towards you, and they are now getting that downloads, and it's all coming because it's that portal of the mystery and the mastery. So when it got those downloads, it comes through the divine, and then you got to walk through the door. Now they're seeing they've got to gain that clarity, because when they was walking through that door and blocking you and stopping you, now that's that attraction. It's that call of authenticity, and they can see that you're authentic, you're standing in your true, you call that passion, you got that leadership, you're loyal to the soil, because you're the Queen of Wands. You've got that power, you've got passion. They see your like creativity and that inner strength you hold, because you're just steadfast and a steward of memories. And that's those signs. When it comes within time, and you see where is you in that path. How did you move through that stage? Oh my gosh, you're rising and you're gaining that momentum because you are made of stardust. Recall the origin and find that soul's true home. That's the past life. So they see the signs about this past life, about your power. Now they're admiring you, and certain people was providing. They didn't have that right facts that made them unsatisfied. They didn't see that change because of the boundless horizon. So that's gaining momentum now, because that's that limitless possibilities. That's that visionary path towards that universal hug, that universal love, that universal change. It was divinely ordained. It was connected from the race eye. Now when you gain that perspective, it's like weak in the knees. They can hardly speak because they're losing control. Remember that evolution is taking over them. When you identify the people, places and things, and you see that discipline, you have to gain structure. They're gaining that strength. That's that memento. They need physical strength now, because to be able to develop that habit today that aligns them with that goal, it's like consistency is key to be able to unlock the shit to the city. And if you don't move and keep on moving forward, it's a part of the mysteries to your path. It says you may be resisting your fate. Let go of control and trust the universe. So you have to trust, go through those portals, connect with the spirit, have that download, have that compassion for yourself, connect to your emotions, move, start to be wise, look about the people, places, situations that surround you. Speak, get out of that mental mind. Fear may be clouding your vision. I told you, get out of that mental mind. Trust those signs. That's that within inside of you. When you're connecting, having a vision, get into your heart chakra. Oh, this one stops. So it says, for that fulfillment, because they may see you as that boundless horizon, they maybe want to be able to come towards you for that fulfillment, because let's say that true emotional satisfaction lies within you. They're just in that transformative stage, guys, because that's when you get that spiritual awakening. You step into Scorpio, you have to step out to Scorpio, because they now got sting while they was in Scorpio, or because they was idealistic, all about money, assets, clothes, hose, you know how it goes, and they didn't want to transform, so they thought they was going towards that success because they thought they was the best. But now they're getting stressed because they get introspection about the actions that they took, and they was taking those actions. Take it all as it resonates, guys. That's what we'll take before I take too many. Right, I can see some long bits here, so we get an in-depth as to what they was doing when they was doing what they was doing, and how they was doing what they was doing, and they was doing what they was doing with. It says, tell me you're coming through. Tell me you're coming through. So they may want you to come through. You may be telling them, tell me you're coming through, boo. New collective, new perspective. Ain't like nothing before. Kevin Gates. So they see the new collective, the new perspective on these people. Ain't like nothing before, the same old karmic cycle, those illusions. Now the Becks. What's up eating with weird permissions? Push through insecurities. You got this. So they need to push through those insecurities. You got this. You push through your insecurities. You had this. You have to have that compassion for yourself, mate. You have to empower yourself. You have to uplift your motherfucking self. You have to cry. You have to let it go. Let shit pass. Don't overanalyze. Too much overthinking. That's what you have to do. Let shit go. Didn't analyze. This is in the present time. So this is in the present time. All of this is happening. Not just working on my one. Working on other people's time. So you want working. They're not working on their own. They're working on other people's times. So they need to find out these allusions to certain confusions when certain people's blocking them with certain kids and causing them stress and conflict about these children and stuff. So you need to be able to find out these things. Take it all as it resonates. Because they could have been creating children and that fake Queen of Swords, or that death. So they could be lying. That child might not be theirs. They, certain people who took some actions, they may be lying because there may be illusions in regards to that. Now they're feeling guilty. When you with me and then around others, you be fake. So, fake love. The fake. Those illusions. When that karmic's with them, and when they're around others, or when they're fake. Those illusions, stress, fake. It says, now they have to be able to repent and say sorry for removing their lampstead, losing that presence, that feeling of completeness and that oneness in the relationship with the spirit first. They were spiritually blind, spiritually blocked. Have within that internal enthusiasm to be able to come towards you, accept who you are, and then bow down to you. You was the light that became the last without you and your presence. So now they're looking back at your light. They're getting seen. They're seeing. They were scared to open their eyes and have that clarity. They didn't have that third eye activated. I see the reliquaries on my days. And early before I did this and I was taking out my washing, all I heard was the reliquaries without opening it. So you had that spiritual knowledge, you had all that wisdom, you had that strength to be able to go to unlock those keys about your destiny. You've seen it because your life was unfolding according to that greater plan. You had to trust in that divine timing because you've seen those reliquaries, and without opening it, and you had to embrace that unknown and then align yourself with your highest path. And that was everything happening because you had that balance. You was that yin to the yang. You were spiritually brave. You had that you move like Daniel in the lion's den. You had introspection. You had inner strength. It said, Isaiah 7, about these relationships when they was in that unknown and you knew they needed to transform and change their ass, their clothes. 10, 20, judgment. Directing personal will to create change, causing change to occur in the conformity with will, and that complete in the divine inner standing fate. You make fate destiny. Boop, 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 destiny. So you may read tarot just like me. And that's that amen. So people had a spiritual awareness of you. So when you was reading and they could see you and how you moved and the way how you spoke, even the way how you explained tarot. Because as I told you, guys, if you're still here, I am not like the other tarot card readers. I was even saying this to Ying Reiki Light today, who's another tarot card reader. You see there on TikTok, you will see her too. She reads and I read, and then it's different to the illusions because I'm reading colours, I'm reading the letters, I'm reading the tarot, I'm reading the cards. I'm spiritually, divinely guided to be able to intuitively read too. So that's looking because you've got that spiritual being like a goddess of nature, of spiritually connected to the ancestors, those entities who pass through on that positive one, the good ones who give you that strength and that power to understand, to overstand, to protect yourself from any potential risk or harms. Because that was you protecting yourself and any manipulating fire. Because you wasn't able to be able to connect when people was blocking you and trying to, you had that power. You had that strength. You had that clarity of mind. You was being able to heal. You was being able to speak. You was at that balance and harmony and stability because you was that like the higher power, like that for authority power, like a mastery used for rulers. And that's like a federal superiors, like a leader who granted land or even looking at vessel exchange for even loyalty. So you see they was wanting it for land. 8, that was land. That was for property. That was for inheritance. They was running fake divine feminine because they wanted to possess. And when they were speaking about you, they was trying to rule dominion over those divine masculines. Take it all as it resonates for money and resources. And they have decay, like death. They need to transform now. Because they was like uncertainties, they was unreliable. And that was about the 6th house when you're stopping. And that's because of the way you're serving and who's serving who. Because they thought they was going to get something like you're lodging like a house. They thought they was going to be able to obtain a property. And you know, when you're setting up house and when you start looking at that house. When you come to my house, don't disrespect my house. Now, so they must be disrespecting that person's house when they come to their house. You come to my house. Yeah, man, so they're in that terminal 4. Because when you start connecting on the dance floor and you listen and you connect to those emotions and you see the illusions of the confusions and people in your house disrespecting your house, trying to take authority because of their habits. And when you've got this structure in the foundation, start so foundation in because of that stability, it's unstable. It's not so lovable. It's not so happy. It's not so joyful. Or because of those illusions, there's some confusions. And when people were taking actions, they was wanting reactions, but they didn't identify about the spiritual wisdom. Do good, be good. Don't do unto others that you don't want to be done to yourself. Because you had to see there were dominion and it was directed. You be like that overload in the hierarchical federal system, like a king granting land, or even barons even taking granted a knight there, forming layers of obligations with superior. Returning the knights, that's dividing, and you're looking, you're freeing. They look connected to the most, either divine feminines or masculines. Maybe in this masculine energy, mastering now a husband, a loaf, a ward. They're now looking because they're looking for that producer of even bread. So they're looking at the leavened bread. They're creating now because that's that 14. That's the kaleidoscope. So now they're in that kaleidoscope. That's those emotions flowing through them. Take this all as it resonates. This is like a whirlwind of emotions, what they're feeling now, because that's like that ever-changing, like that's why they're out drinking, they're feeling old, because they're saying, oh my gosh, it's that ever-changing multifaceted nature of life and that beauty of complexity. So now they're seeing that beauty of complexity, it's flipping played out. They're looking at the practicalities now and the experiences. It's rooting to be able to reveal new ways and new patterns, and that's looking at the colours of life. So they may be wanting to be able to come with this new offer because they're filled with that unique dynamic of those patterns. And when certain new facts, and it was evolving, it was mirroring, it was conjecturing change, it's transformative experiences in life. And each reveals a new perspective. So they're seeing no facts, and the people was blocking them and stopping them and speaking, and it was continuously growth for evolution. They now see that interconnectedness. They can see that you're inseparable for these soul ties, and when you have to start looking back at people, places, it's remembering. It's remembering all that life, the journey, the consciousness, that growth, because it's part of that evolution. And then when you're looking, you're cultivating that a greater awareness. It's personal growth. You have to gain introspection. You have to look and gain that strength. This could be a fire sign. Take it all as it resonates. It's readiness, those responsibilities. You're looking back and forth, and that's that still nothing. You want to emerge, but you know when you block yourself from growing because you're in that childlike spirit, you have to sit back, analyze it, causes stress and conflict. And now I know I hold a relationship with you in the past life. I still love you. So now they're looking back and they can see that port level of the mastery of those memories. They're saying they still love you. They want to be able to trust because they're looking at those signs now. They can see that you're that part of that yin to that yang, a part of that destiny. It was fear that was blocking them. Now they're gaining that discipline because, you know, you don't need to gain structure, steadfast, organized. This is a masculine Capricorn energy. Because they was blocking themselves from those paths, and they thought they was running in those low dense energies. You know, you're running after money, cars, clothes, but in that wrong way. And then you're thinking, you go look at those memories and you look at the portals. It's that call. Was that being authentic? Now they can see you're standing in your authentic truth, and now they're getting connected to their emotions and their hearts. So they're seeing that attraction, this King of Cups, because they can see you're that Queen of Wands. They're getting passionate. They maybe see how you're passionate. When you both seeing the rainbow, did you see the purple? Your crown chakra. I can remember being with somebody and I know that person didn't see the rainbow, and when we was driving, it was abroad and you didn't see it, you was not open. You was miles away. Going to be overwhelming cries within, not the outside. Smile inside, because you will be smiling after. So you maybe get emotional when you hear about these family members and friends who try to block you, was speaking bad and causing conflict and illusions, all to cause you stress. So you was like stuck in that low dense energy. They didn't realize you was that great fulfillment. You moved within inside of yourself. You are that old fulfillment. They didn't realize you just lived in that moment. They was too busy in that moment, and now they're thinking about special times. You had to let go because you knew your power, and now they're getting that momentum to come towards you because it's that moment. And when you see those illusions in the moment, you see that breakthrough, and it's that thought, and you have to look at that partner and the joys, and they see those people that was around them was played out, transformative. They need to be able to endlessly change certain people's blocking from those divine masculines from moving forward. Don't like those who attack others. Trying to block you, you had to hold back. So they tried to block you, you had to hold back. Paper trail, all documents, evidence, taxes, emails, contracts. So 3. So that could have been 3 that was communicating taxes, emails, contracts. They was getting blocked from coming towards you. The paper trail, they was trying to move this paper trail and cause stress and conflict, so you couldn't move forward to your stability. This divine masculine, take it all as it resonates, all about these structures, all about foundations. This could have been like a mother or a father and your mum or their parents or auntie or uncle, take it all as it resonates. Somebody in that family home, because about these roots, you're gonna hear. But they didn't realize that you was rooted, spiritually rooted, connected to the divine. You had that omnipresence from the Most High. Your spiritual guides, they gave you the understanding because you had that compassion. You connected to your heart. So you wasn't able to have that caring, compassion, nurturing nature. You was that one who was like supportive, assisting, encourage. You was the one who provided for the home and was the one who got everybody together. I've identified you. I have reconciled your spirit. I best run. So now they're identifying those karmics that they're around. Now they want to run. Just helping fix some crowns on kings and queens. So you was just out here helping fix crowns on kings and queens, and those fake karmic energies was blocking and stopping. And now they're seeing about the hustles and people was played out, robbing and blocking them from their life, from their journey. All for money, for assets, for stability, for security. All because they know that man don't want them. They all know that man don't want them. Girl don't want them, man don't want them. You get me? But you're holding man them down. Because you're karmic energy. Why? Because you're bitter. You didn't have confidence. You didn't have self-esteem. You know you lied down. You fucked it. You didn't want it because you knew it was a one bag and slam. You knew what going. And you tried to hold it down. And you could have been sleeping with other people. And you're just trying to still hold other people down. And you don't even know who you're holding down. He be tied up to your stability. Connected differently. So that's what they could have done with that death in reverse. Says, oh, blocked him and stopped him. Fit was being courageous. Says, oh, we're having a baby and stuff. Or, oh, we're working alongside together. And you know, you bind somebody, they can't move. So that's where be tied up to your stability, connected differently. So he be tied up to your stability, connected differently. So they was tied up to yours. This could be ancestral, traditions, inheritance. Blood clot. That's what they was trying to get in it. At that them the blood clot try get your stability. 4, your home, that foundation, that comfort, that habit. Feminine energy. Oh my gosh. Emotions. That's when you have to protect creative, intuitive. Consequences. Unrighteous leadership. Oh my days. Family curses. Sinful behaviour. A lack of adherence. Blood clot fire. You see them family members, true, fake, karmic family members, friends. Right. It says, hurting me, financial advisor, money all over the place. Important to have. You have to show you have money. Credit history to be able to apply for a mortgage. Come through dripping. Drip, 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 dripping. Dams on my wrist, dripping. Give them a little something to remember them. Trying to make love in a splinter. A car quick to drop off like a cabina. You be looking like a right swipe on Tinder. Save down, swipe out the Jezebel. Wait, girl, I want to change your life. That girl is poison. Telling them to better pay them what they owe them. Thief. That thief. You see, he's got a GUM ready to go and pop off the rascals. Backfire. Don't go on like you forgot, mama. I'm a millionaire and I feel like a bum. I woke up early this morning and I feel like a millionaire. So now they're feeling they're on that 5th Avenue. They don't have self-reflection. I ain't even moving in the right direction. Something ain't right. I know I ain't even rich till I am rich and she is rich and then we are rich and he is rich. I'm a millionaire. So they thought that girl could have said it with their mum. You get me? Their mum could have been involved. Take it all as it resonates, guys. Blood clot, fire. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, guys. Take this all as it resonates.